Okay. Okay, good morning and welcome to Philadelphia Walks PTSD. My name is Sharon Cole or Cole, whatever you want to refer to me as. No big deal. Sorry for the lighting today. It's extra cloudy outside and it's hard to get everything adjusted in the best way possible with little means and resources. So you can call me Sharon or you can call me Cole, whatever you wish. Doesn't matter. I've been called everything under the sun. Horse, pig, rat, dog, cow, gerbil, hamster, squirrel, whatever. In a good way. I don't care. I don't know what those words technically mean to each person who might have used them during the heaviest period of gang stalking or orchestrated harassment or organized harassment. It's hard to believe that this can happen. Even I tend to believe people and want to find out what's going on. If someone reports that something's happened to them, I would want to know what the dealio is. And in my case, I don't know what to say. I just feel like the city was stocked with some of the worst human beings on the face of the earth who were willing to participate in something. And they might have been ignorant to how large it was or how things kicked off in my case. But I will go back to my little saying of this is my one video each day, 365 days, campaign seeking donors, big and tall, short and small, for a life lost and a terrorization that is epic, out of this world, a very serious matter, that this went on in plain sight without me being able to figure out who to turn to for help and how to convince people that it was going on. There are plenty of people who know that it was going on. So it's not a matter of me convincing. It's a matter of other people fessing up or deciding to just, say, I know it was going on, but we didn't know what to do either. So anyway, this is day 70 of my 365-day campaign, seeking deep pockets or donations, big and small, short and tall, whatever, to keep going. Because whatever it was, that put me on some sort of cat and mouse, game all over the city, me running around, trying to go here, trying to go there. Everywhere I turned, there were I call them terrorists at this point. They are terrorists. They're terroristically minded. They would be like the most sadistic, or they're puppeted to be incredibly sadistic. These are groups of people who either have too much time and money, or they're just too easy. I would see them as very easy followers and minions who are willing to play along with a stupid game that must be a tradition in Philly. It's a Philly thing, right? And it's a serious problem because I was made to believe I'd be murdered the fourth Monday of January 2011. It was an orchestrated series of events. It seems like Philly is all about the show. They have to put on a show. They have to have a show. They have to organize a show. And a lot of people are very highly skilled at putting on a show. I didn't know this. My brain had to completely go through an entire process to accept that there are people out there who have been trained and taught. They're very low-brained people. That is a very low-brain skill. So they need to know that is not sophisticated. My brain was way up here in Highland of sophistication, of trying to be a writer, trying to earn an honest living, and so forth and so on. People who learn how to orchestrate are very low-brained. It's like being in a parade. Basically, it's like choreographing a parade. These people need to find a bigger world, a bigger life, and they need to stop being dumb, and they need to stop being terrorists. In my case, it's so bad that murder has been on the table many times. And we'll stick to the basics of people who actually orchestrate and will actually organize and plan, even if it's loosely. Oh, the dog walker's coming around, so let's all gather out on the block to be extra annoying. And we're going to have some people in there who know how to put forth a very annoying essence or attitude or behavior or, I don't even know how to be annoying, to be honest, other than being a thorn in people's side about this issue. But there are people who are so annoying that they are condescending, and they will continue to keep planning and 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 planning. and orchestrating and orchestrating and setting up and setting up and setting up. Really, they're just parade people. That's a very simple skill to learn how to time parades. Hey, I want to be the captain of the band front. That is actually a very low-brained skill to acquire and learn. And if people are addicted to constantly coming out here and creating scenarios, skits, what have you, in order to humiliate a target, I don't know why they pick someone. And Mike, I actually have no idea why I was chosen. I actually do feel like I was chosen, but not for something good. It was really bad. I actually have suffered quite a bit because I don't understand I don't know why all these people did this. And you can't take someone who's following on one path and then just go ahead and say, oh, we're all going to play God. But we are hundreds of thousands of people. This thing went on it still goes on today. I still can't walk a dog without people desperately needing to play the game and to actually plan. And I would not be in the loop. So you either get lucky and wind up in the email loop or the text loop. Hey, let's go. Or, there could be a ringleader, who makes sure neighbors come out and hang out on a certain street or what have you. That's happening today. In the past, I actually had people stand in front of the window of my first floor apartment and they would have actual skits, I guess, or conversations that were incredibly immature and would sound something like, I don't know who would want to actually spend money on a reload bag, which is a bike messenger bag, when you can get the same thing from Timbuktu online, but I don't know either. It's kind of dumb to spend that much money. So you would have 4 people talking about why it's a bad decision to buy a reload bag, which would be a custom bike messenger bag. And in my case, this is a very specific example. I spent 5 years wishing I had a bike messenger bag and finally got one when dog walking became full time and I needed to carry supplies on me. And also I rode my bike everywhere. So grocery shopping meant where am I going to put my, whatever food I bought? So lots of people used to do this long before they got rid of plastic bags, long before there was a bag movement. I was one of the many people who had a bike messenger bag and went shopping and, bagged my own groceries and put it in the bag and spared the universe plastic bags, if you will. So it took me many years to decide to buy that bag. And I also bought one that was not custom. It was pre-made and very plain. And that thing served me for a very long time because it was made so well. Timbuktus, what can I say? They throw them out every week, but the point being, I just really desired one. And finally, after 5 years of wishing I had one, finally got one for a very functional job responsibility and, grocery shopping and environmental responsibility. That would be one little thing of a 72,000 layer cake of tactics that people use. That's one example. The problem is it's like death by 10,000 cuts. You have tons of people. So your brain has to accept that so many people are willing to be actually the stupidest people on earth. That the brain is like, there are people who are actually, so that hurts the brain. Then it hurts the brain to think, okay, where do they get these people? And what's the dealio? Like, I don't even know these people. So what's the problem? Why are they doing it to me? They don't know me personally. There's no personal beef per se. There's no bad blood between, I don't know these people. There's bad blood now. I don't know who they were because I didn't peek out the window. I just had to sit there and listen. And I tried to turn on things to drown out their voices. I took a shower. I had a very small, very, very small studio apartment. It literally was a shoebox. It was shaped like a shoebox. So I tried to do a lot of things but it keeps bearing into the brain. And when you're hypervigilant because you've already been terrorized into a PTSD level of epic proportions, it's hard to get rid of. The voices are still in the ear per se. So just saying, whatever kicked off in 2011, I actually consider these people an actual danger to society. They are actual terrorists. It's a terrorists of a new form because they work grassroots level and they know how not to say get arrested. I I'm a liberal person, and I don't love seeing people get in trouble. I don't, no one ever wants to have to deal with police or wind up in the slammer or deal with charges. What a wreck. You want a beautiful life. You don't want to have to deal with the court system. Yuck. Those are the grossest people on earth. The people who actually work in that field are kind of gross, aren't they? So I learned this early. I was going to volunteer with the youth aid panel, which I did. And I was talking to someone who I worked with at North American Publishing Company. I forget her name now because it was so many years ago. But I was mentioning a judge, and she's like, oh my God, they're so gross and scummy, aren't they? So don't you want to avoid the court system if you can? I know that other factors come in that can force people into really bad situations. So that's partly a concern, because it's like, I am a good person. I stay out of trouble. I don't want to deal with these slime balls. There are slime balls in the system. There are slime balls out of the system, whatever. Look at the decor. Let's get real. You can go to Five Below and make your apartment look this good. Okay. But the government doesn't do that. It is gross. It is disgusting. The court system is gross. But these people try to throw you into their system. I see them as terrorists. And I don't know why the FBI or people have either turned a blind eye, or there are people at different levels that know they either do know certain things can occur or they don't, and they don't want those people knowing what can happen. They need to keep certain people at certain levels dumb and ignorant of just how sophisticated and bad these things can be. So with all that said, it's death by 10,000 cuts. Ted Gunderson is someone I found online when I started looking up, are there other forms of stalking besides the usual idea of a bad man stalking a woman and so forth and so on. It's hard to find information these days, but back when I started looking it up, I found Ted Gunderson, who was a formal, I'm getting anti-FBI agent, but he apparently used to be, and he's passed away now, he's deceased. He used to be an FBI agent, and discovered that there were certain things occurring that were inexplicable. So he took it on as his own personal mission to figure out how gang stalking worked, or whatever you want to call it. But he is deceased, and I don't know what has become of his efforts, other than the voices out here of reason trying to put forth whatever we know. There's some guy out there who created a site called fightgangstalking.com. That's one of the better sites, but it is something that you can only take in doses. There's so much information on there. If you're a normal person just trying to earn a living or have a job and it's hard to believe that so much it's like the brain has to sort of be like, right, that makes total sense. Why are people doing it again? Or how is it done? Or who are they? Are they puppeted? And if you see the movie Beetlejuice, or the play, which has been running in Philadelphia, Beetlejuice, which I don't think is a coincidence, because also it's running a Cinderella, and I have a sister named Cindy, and the Cinderella story does kind of go along with our family narrative because of stepsisters and a stepmom and stuff like this. But Beetlejuice kind of it kind of follows my narrative, because in the dinner scene of daylight comes and we want to go home. So you see everyone at the table puppeted. Winona Ryder, or Win on a Rider, is at the table watching. You even have people with voices coming out, and it's not their own voice. I know that can happen. It's disturbing, because I come from a land of, I would be kind of skeptical. I like the idea of people coming along and say, here's another idea. I love the idea of missionaries going out to the church in Chinatown saying, we can heal you with a healing touch. But there was always a part of me that's skeptical. Or people who talk about people who are puppeted, I was always a little bit skeptical. How would it work? Done. It can be done. Period. Unbelievable. And in Philadelphia, the district attorney's office, if you go to their website, it says DAO. Done. DAO. So there could be people in the office who know how to puppet people. I don't know what to say. Or they're puppeted. I don't know what to say. Philadelphia is a show town. It is a circus show here. They pride cheap thrills. I am asking people who either, the people who participate and know what it is, there's no hope for them. Like, I don't know what to say other than please just find a better life. For people who don't know about this kind of stuff, I would say, please, anything, do your best, whatever it takes, stay away from the court system. It's a show, it's a theater show in and of itself for some sick, sadistic MFer out there. And I don't know what to say. It's just, there's so much to say that it's too overwhelming. But I will end it there. These people are terrorists, the people who very willingly and consciously, very consciously, there are people who don't understand the weight of the issue. They want me to say brevity, but I don't, that word doesn't seem appropriate. But there are people who really don't understand the ramifications, the implications, just how bad this was. Or they think they're all that in a bag of chips. They think they're God. They think they're the highest in the land. It's like, well, if you don't, if you don't live in a $5 million compound, then you're not even close to being the highest in the land. Not even close. So anyway, with that said, I wanted to make another point, but that's, I can't remember everything as I go along here, sort of freewheeling it. But it's a really bad situation. I would beseech people to really pursue better things to raise themselves up, staying as healthy as they can. I know it's really hard because people come from, unhealthy backgrounds and stuff like that. And it can be a long journey to get to higher ground or a better place. But anyway, that's it. I consider people who very consciously and willingly and who want to do this as terrorists, modern day terrorists. And the FBI is going to have to wake up, or whatever agency is supposed to wake up. They have got to consider this a form of terrorism at some point in their lives, because these people can create snappers. I actually believe that. I actually believe these people can cause someone to go postal at different levels. Okay. And also, I published a book, Duplicity and Duress, Snap Factories in the Making. For this reason, it took me 6 years, but I felt forced to write it. So it's hard to explain, but I'm a lonely person who doesn't have much of a life. So it takes a lot of time to write a book. I don't have like a husband who would support me, or a partner or a wife or what have you. But I had to do it all on my own while walking dogs, while being terrorized here in the city. Okay. And I had to pay for it. And BookBaby only converts it into the files. They really don't do that much work. I did all the work, and they just knew how to convert it into an ebook. That's it. Okay, have a great day, and thank you so much.